Hi there boys and girls, Brucey here, just going to do another quick follow-up 5-year review. I did one recently of the Nova system, which I bought relatively similar time to when buying these Blues Junior, the Tweed Blues Junior 3. I've been through many amps. You may have seen some of the things on the channel. I have a variety of amps I really love. I love my Marshall really old school JMP1 rack. That's probably my favourite amp because that's the first amp I ever purchased. But I can never get the clean sounds I wanted from Marshall, and that's until I was like, I'm never ever going to play a Fender. Remember, this is in the 90s, pre-internet, you know, when I was all gullible, didn't know what we're doing, and the opportunity to try things wasn't as great as it was today, and the opportunity to go online wasn't as great as it was today. Been through a series of amps, went through Black Star for a while, you know, great amps, but just not for me. I have my Cornford Roadhouse 50, which is just amazing. It's an amazing amp, but the problem is it's a little bit too loud for my home studio here. And anecdotally, we played a gig in a stadium, 20,000 seater stadium, and even with it on 3, being told by the sound guy it was too loud. For the majority of my gigging over the last 5 years, I've been using this. I always return to this. I've been using modelling, which is great. I'm using the Line 6 Helix now, which is revelatory. It's an absolutely fantastic piece of kit and really suitable for many gigs. I do tend to come back to this amp. I had a Fender Deluxe 68 Custom for a while. Again, another great amp, probably the best sounding amp I've ever had. But I had to flip it. Why did I have to flip it? Well, it was down to 2 issues. And sorry, I know this is about this one, but just to give you a bit of context here, I flipped the amp because there was a sweet spot, and the sweet spot for that amp was about 4 on the dial, and it was just a little bit too loud for the majority of the gigs. And I'm talking big gigs here as well, because the bigger the gig these days, the more likely they want you to use a smaller amp, because it's just, you know, the PA does most of the work, and this amp on stage basically sits there as your monitor to a certain extent. And even at 22 watts, that amp, to get it cooking, to get it sounding great, it was just, the sweet spot was too much for me, and turning it below that, it just flubbed out a little bit. It just wasn't as good as I knew it could be. Conversely as well, it had a bit of a noise issue. There was a noise problem, and I'd been through 2 of them. One just blew up on me, and I know that's down to Fender, it's not down to the amp, and I had worries, so I flipped it. And I know, no doubt as well, that when I'm financially in a better position, I'm going to probably buy the 65 instead, you know, because these are just beautiful amps, and I really want to own one again. This is the workhorse. It's, touch wood, it's never let me down. There's maybe once a problem with a loose valve, which, you know, that's just from transporting it and being careful with it. It's been dropped, it's been thrown about. I've never really had it in a robust cover, but it's worked flawlessly. It handles pedals amazingly well, and also recently I've been using it with the Line 6 Helix as my monitor. So rather than taking a full range, I'm using this to get a bit of tube oomph in the power section, and then running the Line 6 Helix as my pedal board, which is fantastic. I would say as well, the companion to this has been my Nova system. You can see a number of videos on my channel about the Nova system. So what would I say 5 years on? Perhaps I would have chosen the normal Blues Junior. When I bought this, I sat for hours in PMT in Manchester, and I tried out this alongside the other one, and this one spoke to me a little bit more. In hindsight, you know, the Jensen speaker in this is quite bright, and obviously now it's really kind of hammered in quite a lot from hundreds of hours of gigging and rehearsals. God knows how much I'm recording. I've done everything with this amp. It's standing up really well. It's probably due some replacement valves. Going to sort that out ASAP. Got them actually on the shelf up there to replace. And for any of those of you interested, I'm going to be doing some impulse responses here as a well-gigged Blues Junior against a brand new valved Blues Junior. I haven't made any mods on this. The secret to me using this, as is in another video, is I run the master at 12. So I use it as just as a master volume amp. Master at 12, and I control the volume from the volume control, which, you know, we only, for most gigs, I'm sitting around 2 and 3. That's plenty loud enough. It's really clean, it really holds up well, and I get my dirt. I don't get that from the preamp distortion, I get that from pedals, and that suits me. Not for everyone, I know, but it suits me. And even with the master at 12, I can run this at about 1, and it's perfectly suitable for home practice and recording in the studio. The reverb is probably a little bit too much for me. I'm not a big springy reverb kind of guy, but you know, most people who probably choose to use this amp would choose that. I just choose to get like maybe a plate reverb from a pedal. My choice. Nothing wrong with a reverb as far as I'm concerned. The only thing that has broken on this amp in 5 years was the handle. The original handle is gone, and I had to replace it with a replacement one which is really strong and really robust. And that's been probably 2 years now since I've had any problem. So all in all, I love this amp. It's a great gigging amp. You can throw it around. It's really light. It's really light compared to most amps. It takes up no space. It's easy to mic it. It takes pedals really well, and it's been an absolute dream. So I'm looking forward to the next 5 years of gigging with this amp. Hope you found that useful. Catch you later. Hi there boys and girls, Brucey here. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If you're a guitar player, please do check out my guitar creativity book. You can see a link here. It's packed full, jammed full of different types of lessons which are going to get you thinking outside the box, thinking differently about the guitar, thinking about your approach to the guitar. Very much in line with some of the lessons I've got on my channel, so please do check out the book. And if you don't want to check out the book, then click subscribe and get more free content from me. Catch you later.